Hi, how are you? Welcome to the Rotating Home. Let's start on the tour and let's start downstairs. So come on with me. Okay, we have three levels of the house. What we're on the deck when we first greeted, that's the rotating portion of the house. This is fixed, and then there's a basement that is also fixed. Let me get a group of pictures out, which will help explain a little bit more about the house. I'll be right back. Okay, so basically the house has three different levels. Two of them are fixed. The top floor, or we call it the second floor because the bottom is the basement, is what rotates. It's 5,100 square feet. It is 3,700 square feet of living space and 1,400 square feet of deck. This level is 2,100 square feet. It's basically garage, granny flat, and it's fixed. You have room for two-car garage over there, any kind of play area or whatever. This was going to be a 6-car garage because I had an old 16 Chevy and 28 Cadillac, but when Janet saw this floor, it ended up being the grandkids' playroom. So that's how it's set up like that. The big question we get asked is, how do the utilities work? You have a rotating home of 3,700 square feet with kitchens and bathrooms and all that. How does it work? Basically, everything is connected to the city, county, sewer, gray water, drinking water, gas, all those utilities, electricity, everything, just like any other house. Some of that is depicted here. You've got some construction pictures. For example, here's a picture of the steel setup. This is the rotating second floor. It's all made out of steel. The floor beams are 21-inch deep, 8-inch wide, 3/4 inch steel, 32 feet long. All of the beams are professionally welded to the elevator shaft. The steel structure all rides on the walls of this level. There's a beam that goes all the way around this 50-foot circle, and the beam is made out of 10 number 8s tied every 4 inches with number 4 and 5,800 PSI concrete. On top of it, it has an upside down T-track. Each one of the beams has what we call a wobble box underneath it at the 25-foot out level. And there are 4 of these bearings on each one of the beams. Each one of these carries 35,000 pounds. So altogether, there is 36 of them. And there are 250,000 pound bearings where the motor and the drivetrain are. And then in the center elevator shaft that the elevator shaft sits on, you can see the shaft here, is a 1 1/3 million pound bearing. So it's way overbuilt. And here you can see the steel that I was talking about that's inside the beam that goes all the way around. Janet tying all the steel. So it's way overbuilt from a bearing standpoint for carrying the weight of the house with the furniture and people and all that in it. We also have a basement. Here's a picture of the basement. It's got a big rock in it that goes clear out into the backyard. And it's basically built like a bomb shelter. The floor right where we're standing is about 10 inches deep. But as it comes to the outer wall, it gets 8 feet deep of solid concrete with some steel in it, obviously. You can see here in this picture, there's where the basement is, because it has a roof over it. These are the 2-car turntables that this is partially garage and partially granny flat. Let me show you the turntables. We'll walk over here. To make this a garage and a granny flat, we would just put a wall across here. That portion being the garage, this portion being the granny flat, and it can be connected to the upstairs or it could be separate. There is a stairwell, obviously, that we came down, outside stairwell that you could go up into the house. But there's also an elevator in the center of the house that connects this level with the second level. It also rotates with the house. But here are the cars. Let me get a light or two to turn on here. And you can see that the car is sitting on a metal plate. And here it is, where all you have to do is lean against the car, and it will rotate so that you don't have to back up the steep driveway. Turn your car around and drive on straight up the driveway. Let's go back to the picture board. We'll explain how the plumbing, gas, electrical, all that works. The main thing are the liquids: sewer, gray water, drinking water, and we also have gas that are all on this center swivel. This being the sewer, this being gray water, gas, drinking water. And if you think of it, it's kind of like my hand here. You've got a groove for each one of the fluids. You have seals between each fluid, a pair of seals, and then a sensor line. So you'd have to have two seals fail and the sensor fail, and they're double sensors, for any mixture of any fluids. That is very rare because these seals have about a 75-year life, and they're only 20 years into it. Here is this centerpiece in its outside counterpart. So this is the total swivel. These lines down here are all fixed because this portion of the swivel doesn't turn, it's fixed. The outer portion of the swivel rotates with the house, and that's how we can have all of our utilities work and still be connected to standard sewer lines and water lines and so forth. Here's a picture of the elevator pit, if you will, that has the swivels in it. There are two electrical swivels, a gas swivel, and the drinking water, gray water, and sewer swivel. Also, you can see there's some white pipes up here. These are drain pipes that drain the zero-pitch flat roof. The zero-pitch flat roof is another unique feature in that we're in the Santa Ana area where you have Santa Ana fires. I wanted something to be super secure from a fire standpoint. There are, if you look right up here, for example, there are fire sprinkler systems throughout the basement, this floor, and the rotating floor. Another thing that we have is we truly have a zero-pitch flat roof. There is a parapet that goes all the way around the roof that's about so high, and the urethane foam goes up the parapet about a foot and then covers all 5,100 square feet of the roof. Urethane foam won't burn. You can take a blowtorch and stick it on the foam and it'll give you a little black spot, but it'll never catch, it'll never be a flame. One of the things we did is we took the drains. There, as I said, there are 4 drains here. We took the 27 2-inch drains, put them into 3-inch collectors, and put those 3-inch collectors into 2 of the 4-inch drains. We put 2 other 4-inch drains about 2.5 inches above the roof level. We also put 2 fire sprinklers up on the roof, 1-inch lines. So if there is a fire coming in, you can turn the drains off, turn the 2 fire sprinklers on, and get at least 2.5 inches of water on your roof. You've got an all glass exterior and an all cement exterior and 2.5 inches of water on your roof and a fire sprinkler system at every level. It isn't gonna burn. I talked about the upside down T-track. Here's where we're adding the beam and laying the T-track on top of the big beam. This is the elevator shaft when we were first starting. That's putting the swivel mechanism in the shaft and bringing it all the way down to ground level. There is, like I said, about a 600, 650 square foot basement down below. I don't think we need to go down to that.